dad and I are going to record tomorrow as we discuss the debate and all of the goings on right now. So, and I don't have anything recorded and ready to go, but I wanted to put a little bit up today just to get some things off my chest. And I have grabbed some recordings to add in here. And basically, I'm just tired of beating a dead horse about race every 5 seconds. Dr. King wanted you to define a man by the character and, what he does over his race. And yet we're still doing it as far as let's only get Kamala Harris in as VP because she's a black woman or a woman of color, instead of looking at the best person for the job. Excuse me. I'm just tired of it. And so I grabbed a couple clips. One is Dan Bongino on his show, I think today, talking about Joe Biden and him speaking at the funeral of Senator Robert Byrd, who was a KKK member, and the fact that the left and Biden's camp, the Clintons, the Bush, that circle, that cabal, is so hell-bent on calling names and saying that Trump's a white supremacist or he's a sympathizer. Yet there's absolutely no proof, except for the fact that there's proof in the other regard that the left is actually the racist. I'm tired of it. As soon as I denounced Biden as a nominee and left the Dems, that was immediate. I was a racist automatically. That was just hands down. She must be a racist. Like, where do you get that logic? This can't go on forever. You can only deny facts for so long, people. And you're going to understand that the emperor was wearing no clothes soon enough. So here is a clip with Trump over and over and over again throughout the years saying he denounces white supremacy, yet some of you don't seem to have ears that work well enough to hear it. God. And then I also have the audio, like I said, of Biden speaking at the funeral for Robert Byrd, KKK member. And so I'm going to play this and have a listen. And then coming up in the next couple days, I'll have the conversation between myself and my father. And he was on my first show, if you heard that. It was a really good interview. He's been a law enforcement officer for 40 years. He's retired and now does security work on the computer he develops, I guess, GIS mapping of crime in each area where you can drill down and notice the hot spots for different types of crime, this and that. It's pretty high-tech stuff. He's a smart man, and I value his words and want to hear what he has to say about all this. So join us, I think, probably tomorrow, Saturday night. I should have it ready, if not by Sunday, because we'll be hanging out tomorrow. It was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Dad. All right, so here's some of the videos, or the audios from the video. And finally, here is Donald Trump with a compilation of him saying he's against white supremacy and all of the racist things he's been said he's been a sympathizer with. He tells you over and over. So here is a compilation of that. Yeah, y'all need to stop beating a dead horse. Just take a look at your so-called racist president.
David Duke just made it a racist a problem.
I'm not looking to repudiate David Duke.
Sure. David Duke and robocalls are out again, the white supremacist movement supporting you. Do you have any words for that?
Well, I disavow. David Duke endorsed me? Okay. All right. I disavow, okay? When we looked at it,
What do you fucking want?
I disavowed David Duke. So I disavowed David Duke all weekend long on Facebook, on Twitter, and obviously it's never enough. So are you prepared
Never
right now
enough.
to make a clear and unequivocal statement renouncing the support of all white supremacists?
Of course I am. Of course I am.
Hello.
When Chris joined, we had a news conference, and they asked me the exact same question. I said, I disavow. I disavowed then. I disavowed today on ABC with George Stephanopoulos. I disavowed again.
David Duke is a bad person who I disavowed on numerous occasions over the years.
I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow.
I've rejected David Duke. I've rejected the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan.
But David Duke is saying to his supporters and followers, vote for Donald Trump. White supremacists are saying, vote. Do you want those votes?
No, I don't want them, and I don't want him to say it.
And you want the supporters?
Do you
I don't want
hear
any-
him?
What do you think of white supremacists, by the way?
I don't like any group of hate.
David Duke announced his Senate candidacy, claiming your agenda.
Are you ready before you ask the question?
Newt Gingrich said every Republican should repudiate this guy,
I
no
did.
matter what it takes.
And I do. Rebuked. Is that okay? Rebuked.
Rebuke.
Done.
Done.
Do you want white supremacists to vote for you?
No, I don't at all. Not at all.
His campaign is denouncing a show of support from the KKK's official newspaper, as in the Ku Klux Klan.
In the same New York Times interview, he denounced white supremacists. He denounced the neo-Nazis who support him.
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK,
Hello.
neo-Nazis, white supremacists. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. I spoke out forcefully against hatred, bigotry, and violence, and strongly condemned the neo-Nazis,
Can you hear
white
that?
supremacists, and the
God. All right, this is Dan Bongino. He used to be in the Secret Service, and he has some good words and some audio to let you hear.
Here's what I am going to convince you, though. If you believe Trump is a white supremacist with zero evidence, why are you ignoring the evidence about Joe Biden and him actually on tape? By the way, hat tip Armacost, who sent me this yesterday. We just got to it today.
Thank you, sir.
Joe found this one. Why are you ignoring Joe Biden's actual praise of a white supremacist at former Senator Robert Byrd, an exalted cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan's funeral? It's on tape. He calls him a mentor. What was he mentoring you in? Exalted cyclopsing in the Ku Klux Klan? Why is Biden not being asked every day about this? Here's the video.
As also noted, Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. But to me, and many people here today, like guys I see, Bill Bradley and Jim Sasser, who've long left the Senate for greener pastures, and I hope better remuneration. We used to kid about that too, but for a lot of us, he was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
Robert Byrd was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to be clear, if Robert Byrd was a Republican, Robert Byrd would have been banished from public life forever. He was literally, not figuratively, an exalted cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan. Actual white supremacists. I'm not suggesting people can't repent for their stupidity. Jesus Christ forgave a murderer on the cross next to him. I'll see you in heaven. But I'm suggesting to you, if the standard is any attachment to known white supremacists, however loose, fabricated, or whatever, ever at any point in your history, means you should be canceled, then why is Joe Biden not canceled? That's him on tape praising. Do you understand? An exalted cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan? The reason you don't care is because you know your standard's ridiculous.
So I'm sure no one will have anything to say back to that, but you know, the saying is those who scream the loudest or protest the loudest have the most to hide. And it seems like Biden protests, methinks he does protest too much. I mean, you're going to vote for who you're going to vote for, but I've asked on my social media to tell me two things for those who are voting for Biden. Number one, show me what Biden has done policy-wise in 47 years in D.C. that helps the people of color or the underserved communities other than hurt them or harm them. Because I know the Biden crime bill, when Clinton was in office, was a disaster. Biden's had many instances in saying awful things, and they want to point their finger at Trump. They had me going for years, but this year I've had enough. I'm calling their bluff. It's bullshit. There's no substance at all. At number two. So number one is I want to see what do they think Biden has done policy-wise in 47 years, and why the hell do you think that he's going to start now? He's a shell of who he used to be anyway. Like, what are you thinking? And then number two, show me what Trump has done. I don't care if it's been since the 70s or 80s or in the last 3 years as president. But please show me the policies that he has done and put into place, or business deals that he has done that have harmed the people of color or really harmed anyone. I know he's actually been helping others for a very long time, and his honors did not just start in the Obama administration like I saw Joe Biden's did. Trump's been getting awards and recognition since the 80s. Biden started getting honors and awards and recognitions in 2009. Can you read the writing on the wall? I hope you guys continue to wake up, share my podcast, share other podcasts, get the word out there that we are being deceived. No, I don't trust Trump completely, no. But I don't put my faith in any man. I have God, I have Christ. And I suggest you might want to check your own heart and for your own soul benefit, because this seems to be getting into some sketchy times. Trump supposedly has COVID now. I don't know how if I believe that or not, just because there's been so many things planned. This is 5D chess, and I just don't know what's real. And if you can't break your ego down just enough to admit that you might not know what exactly is going on, then you have problems. So God bless you, and God bless America. I pray for President Trump and Melania and everyone around them. I pray for our country and for our children and the future, and that your eyes will be opened if you're still blinded to what's going on. And this is the greatest deception. This is master deception going on here. And if you have God in your heart or in your life, you will start to wake up sooner or later. You can only hold on to the bullshit so long until the new information that you gain, you've got to justify it somehow with your current situation and your current worldview. Now, that might mean you're going to have to shake up some things in your own life and the way you look at things, and come out against things you thought were wrong and look like a fool, like I did. But sometimes that's what we need to grow, is to lose everything and build back up. But, that's how we gain character. You don't run from that. You don't put trigger warnings on everything and content warnings. You hurt, you heal, and you get up and move on and get better. So I hope everyone's doing great out there. Keep your head up and love on each other. Thanks for listening to High Five. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.